What is going on, guys and girls? It is GhostRobo, and today I'm here to talk to you about my most anticipated games of E3 2013. It is going to be the biggest E3 probably in the last 8, 9, 10 years, the biggest one of the decade for sure, and it should be a lot of fun. Joining me to talk about what games we're most excited for is Game Riot. How you doing, sir?
Hello, Zach. How you doing?
I am doing very, very good and very pumped because there is 4.5 short weeks until E3. We will see the brand new consoles, the Xbox Infinite, as I so strongly believe it's going to be called. What do you think it's going to be called, by the way?
The next Xbox? I keep hearing Fusion, so I'm a bit... I hope not.
It just sounds like a bad energy drink. Yeah. I think Infinite has a lot of marketing potential. I know that just Xbox is a big one for people, so we'll have to see. But anyways, we'll see the PlayStation 4, we'll see the next Xbox. But really, like, my big reason for going and my biggest enthusiasm is, like, what new games are going to be there to play. So we're going to pick our top 3 here and talk about them. Why don't you start us off?
My one is definitely going to be Watch Dogs. I am quite excited by that, but I'm not really sure how the game's actually going to work. I mean, we've seen a lot of trailers and stuff that look really, really awesome, but I'm not really sure where the games will be going. It sort of shows you open possibilities, hack trains, hack traffic lights, but how is it to actually like hack things on the go sort of thing? It's
right. What is
I think there's a lot of potential, but I'm not really sure what sort of direction it's going in.
Right. Like what's the focus? Is it more of a GTA style open world, just go and recognize these random things happening, or is it going to be more like LA Noire detective work, or is it infamous combat focus? And I think what they've shown is like really cool, but yeah, I totally agree with you that we don't really have a real sense of like what is the identity of Watch Dogs going to be, and it should be pretty cool to find that out. Now, do you think that is a game that is going to really take advantage of next gen stuff, or not? Is it more of a half-baked next gen game since it is going to be on all platforms?
Definitely gonna be half baked. I think they've sort of. I think they probably started with the PS3 and Xbox in mind. Now I think they're going more to like focusing on the PC, PS4 and stuff. But that's gonna be like a sort of side focus,
right? Especially since they showed it so early. Like it was revealed before any of the other stuff for the upcoming systems.
I mean, it does look really awesome from the trailers we've seen on the PS4, but it does also looks like perhaps like a PC port for. Right, 720 and all that sort of stuff. So
right, well they touted all that like there's cell phones all around the world and you can activate all this stuff and it's all real time, blah 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 blah. But I think the more that they've shown in the game, the more it definitely looks like it is a current gen title that will be upscaled for the next system. Who knows though? Maybe there will be some different features. I just think it gets really hard with those cross-gen games of how do you balance it. I mean, graphically, yeah, you can scale up and down, but when it involves, like, mechanics and systems, that's where I get concerned about some of these titles. Like, Assassin's Creed 4 is another one that I don't think is on either of our lists, but again, could suffer from that sort of caught-in-between problem.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going definitely more towards the GTA, though, isn't it? I think it's going to be a little bit more actiony, sort of hide in cover, still shoot and stuff, and then just use, like, the hacking almost like as a side thing. But I don't know, it's going to be cool to sort of get around town for a train and stuff and just hack into things.
Yeah, I definitely hope it focuses on that side of it, sort of the detective hacking side. I mean, we're going to play GTA 5 in September, so following that up in October or November, whenever Watch Dogs releases, they definitely will want to differentiate themselves. And my first choice is one that definitely differs from yours, which is the new 3D Mario game for Nintendo. I know it's one that you're probably not excited about at all, but I'm so pumped. I cannot wait to see what they show. So long as it's not Mario Galaxy 3. Did you ever play the Galaxy games?
I played it briefly, but I never really got into that much. I played like the first sort of few levels and then sort of moved on.
Yeah, I did as well. I just couldn't get into those. I love Mario 64. I really love sort of the hub world with a bunch of crazy levels, like the side of things. And while Galaxy has that to a degree, it's still based on this whole planet system, and the levels feel smaller, and it doesn't feel as expansive. It doesn't feel like as much of like a bunch of crazy interconnected worlds. That's what I really liked from Sunshine and from 64. And I hope they kind of go back to their roots, or deliver something totally crazy, which is not like Nintendo, but would still be awesome, which would be open world Mario. Would an open world Mario game get you back into the Nintendo?
It's going to take a lot to actually go out and actually purchase a WiiU myself.
Yeah, that's probably pretty sure. I do think they're going to have a good E3 though. I think in spite of all the they're skipping E3, Nintendo's falling apart, I think they're going to have a really knock it out of the park game lineup coming at E3. What is your next title?
My next one is, I'm sort of semi-excited for this game, Battlefield 4. I think the graphics look amazing. I mean, we have seen a little bit of gameplay from single player, like the bird effects look awesome, the lighting looks just like it's been pushed forward a lot since Battlefield 3, but I want to see multiplayer just sort of jumped up a bit as well, just proving little aspects. It's hard for someone like me who doesn't play FPSs like constantly. You jump into the game and it's extremely difficult to like get a few decent kills.
For sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun game to keep playing. I just want to see that push forward a bit.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, I don't know if it'll be Battlefield 4 or what shooter, Destiny maybe, like which is the first FPS of the next generation to really evolve beyond, you know, that typical, quote, Call of Duty formula of, you know, oh, we have this kind of, you know, cut and dry linear corridor single player, and then we have, you know, level up progression multiplayer. Like, is it just going to be that for another 6-7 years, or are we going to have a game come and say, hey, this is the new standard for first-person shooters? And I don't know if Battlefield 4 is it, but I will be interested to see if they evolve anything, especially on the multiplayer front, like you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty's bringing out a new engine now as well, so they've got to change up things a lot. But I think this is the year that I think everyone will go, this Battlefield's the main game. I think people are going to start looking at that.
Oh, really? You think it's going to flip-flop?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's an interesting call. My next game is Infamous Second Son, and while I didn't finish Infamous 2, which is a shame, I guess, because you said it was really good, right?
Very good, yeah. It keeps the story just keeps you going. And why did you stop? I have interest.
I stopped because I don't know. I felt like it was too. One, I felt like it was too much like the first game. Maybe I didn't progress far enough to unlock some of the cool abilities. And two, at least the early missions that I played were kind of run-of-the-mill. I was kind of a little bit disappointed with how there was, like, I remember the one that I stopped on was this tank escort mission, and you were standing on the back of this tank truck thing, and just, like, sort of almost like a gallery shooter, like, firing, you know, energy blast to electric blast at these guys, and I was just like, really? Like, I don't know. Maybe I didn't get into the city exploration enough, but it looks like they are creating a much more realistic city this time around, and I think a more lively world could benefit them tremendously. I think one of the challenges for that team, though, is like, how do they make a game that is combat focused but also delivers something else? Like, I think that they've struggled in the past, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but struggled in the past with finding sort of a secondary gameplay thing. I know that the movement is cool, like flying through the air, that's all great, but how do you make an open world game that merges this city with just combat being the focus? That's where I think that if they can do that really well, it could be a knockout.
Yeah, I think they've got to like look at the past games and think what's missing, what's making it go to like almost like another level, to just sort of jump up the game. I feel like I know what you mean by Infamous 2 was quite similar to the first one. It did feel similar, but there was enough going for me that sort of make it actually sort of continue it and finish it. We didn't see how the fire works and the smoke and stuff, and that sort of combines, but I'm quite glad they're moving away from like the electric powers almost and sort of try and think a little bit more new.
Definitely, yeah. And I hope that with that change of character, that change of elemental focus, that they can reinvigorate the series. Because I really did love the first one. It was like my first favorite game on PlayStation 3 was Infamous 1. I liked the story. I liked just everything about it. And I'm hoping that they can sort of have a resurgence to glory and reinvent the series in a fun way later this year. I think that's supposed to be a launch title, so if it is, that could be a real... That could be the game to purchase with the system.
Yeah, that could be like a 9 out of 10 solid title that everyone buys.
I definitely hope so. What is your next game, sir?
Mine's going to be like an unannounced title. I'm looking forward to what Bethesda, their main studio's got next. They just announced Wolfenstein, but they're actually publishing that. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what Bethesda, their main studio, is doing.
You just want Fallout 4. Just say it. Yeah, you just want Fallout 4.
Definitely. If any of you guys know me and know my channel, I'm pretty big in Fallout 3. I love the game. I'm hearing a lot of rumors about Boston, so that'd be really cool to...
Yeah, let me ask you, where do you want to see it go? Because I've heard Boston as well, and that seems pretty darn similar to what we got in Fallout 3. Do you want to see it take a massive departure? Or?
I'd like to see it in London, but that's being a bit biased maybe. Something a little bit different. I think London would be a little bit different than Washington.
Yeah, it would be good to see them move it around. I don't know. That's another game that I would like them to sort of reinvent a little bit. I don't know if that combat system can really carry forth, especially... I don't know. I feel like they either have to improve the combat thing or they have to improve the dialogue thing, because... To me, in my personal opinion, as much as I loved Fallout 3 and New Vegas, greatly enjoyed both games, I felt like none of the pieces individually were great. It was sort of the whole cornucopia of everything together that made it really fun. But all the individual mechanics are kind of, just kind of mediocre.
You wasn't keen on the old VAT system?
I don't really like VATs. I like that they give you the freedom to go, totally first-person shooter if you want, and you can, stop time if that's your thing. But again, I just feel like maybe it's the character models, maybe it's the amount of choices, but something just for me, what does it in those games is the atmosphere, the environments, and that's why I really want to see them take it somewhere new. I mean, I love London. I think that's a great idea. But if not, if they are going to do Boston, then I think they need to up the ante on either their story decision team or their combat action team to make those things kind of pick up the slack for the environment.
Almost less focus on like subways and stuff, underground. Ignore the underground stuff. Do bits of it, but not like. I always felt like I was underground and that was like the scary bits, but I want a bit above ground and just see like the amazing sort of vistas and stuff and just be wowed by the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they spend so much energy and effort on sort of the world and making you feel like you're part of this post-apocalyptic just craziness, and then they do that awesome, don't get me wrong. I just think that in that process, the mechanics sort of lag behind a little, and I'd like to see those be pushed forward, and then Fallout 4 again could be one of those. It could be the Oblivion of this next generation, sort of that first huge like whoa game. I think they really could. Exactly. They could really deliver.
I'd love to see a trailer come out, probably at Xbox conference or something, just wow us, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Fallout 4 is coming back."
that would be very fun. I don't know. I think is that one that they show a gameplay trailer though, or do they do one of those stupid, goofy live action? Like we didn't even see anything. Like that's another thing. These live action trailers drive me crazy. Like show us.
I think the worst trailer ever has got to be that Call of Duty one I saw. That was just
Call of Duty
so
Ghost
bad.
trailer. Yeah, it's nasty. But my last game could be very nasty, which is Rare's unannounced project for the next Xbox, and like my better intelligence says it's going to be a very crappy family-oriented Connect 2 driven game and probably really sucky, but I still have this small hope that they could do Banjo-Kazooie 3, which would just be amazing. I'd love to see a company try to do one of those style of platformers in a new way and kind of re-innovate the platform open world. Again, it's in the same reason why I really want a new Mario. I think that there's something special about those games that, yeah, they kind of are stuck in the past in a lot of ways, but bring them forth with new graphics and some fun mechanics, and you could really create a winner that would appeal to some of the same audience, but also a different audience than the Call of Duty and Battlefield and Madden, typical target audience.
Yeah, I'd see like a really nice, like cartoony style, really sort of trying to think what a really good example, but just like really like.
Well, there isn't really any good examples. No. That's the crazy part, is like an ambitious, more fun Nintendo styled game not made by Nintendo. Like those don't really exist, and even Nintendo is like typically taking sort of a backseat and going back to past things. You look at New Super Mario Brothers U. They're not really jumping forward with where I'd like them to go, but I hope that all the games we mentioned definitely show us some promise at E3. Is there one game that you're really worried about that you think will be a big disappointment, that maybe has gotten some decent hype, but you think is just going to be like a dud at E3?
Probably the one I mentioned, Watch Dogs. I haven't played it. I want to sort of sit down and play it, because I'm not 100% sure. I think they've sort of oversold it a bit, but I hope not.
Yeah, it could go either way. The one that I'd put my money on is Assassin's Creed 4, because they're talking some big game about that, but I think people have a much more discerning eye this year. Last year, everyone just bought into their Assassin's Creed 3 hype, like ate it all up and paid the price, and I really think that Assassin's Creed 4 needs to wow people, at least needs to wow me to get me back on board with that series. I am hopeful. They've said good things, but like you mentioned, it's a whole different story when you actually put the controller in your hands, and hopefully we will have a chance to do that with a lot of these games in the next month. Thank you so much for joining, Mr. Game Riot. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any final words, sir?
Just make sure you like the video.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Take care, guys and girls. Drink some hot chocolate. Until next time, we will see you all later.